In the dead of night, a quiet hillside overlooking a sprawling city lay under a canopy of stars. On the ground, in the cover of shadows, an alien being observed the human world with curious, almost mesmerized eyes. Her name was Lyra, and she was on a mission, sent from a distant world to study human behavior, culture, and above all, what made humans resilient and unique. Equipped with advanced technology, a sleek bodysuit with cloaking abilities, and a robotic companion named Zyron, Lyra was prepared to gather intel, not to make friends or be seen. However, as she settled into her mission, Lyra realized Earth held surprises she hadn't prepared for. Lyra's attention was drawn to one particular human, a young man named Alex, who was alone on the hillside. He seemed lost in his own thoughts, eyes fixed on the sky above as though searching for answers in the stars. His relaxed, peaceful manner confused her. Most alien species were efficient, calculating, focused entirely on advancing their missions. This human, however, appeared to be in no rush. She watched as he stretched out on the grass, hands tucked behind his head, simply gazing at the night sky with a small, thoughtful smile. Humans. What odd creatures, she murmured, the words barely audible even to herself. Yet, despite her initial dismissal, Lyra found herself observing Alex more closely. Every evening, he returned to this same spot, stargazing in complete silence. It became a sort of ritual. He would arrive with a warm drink, sometimes a book, and stare at the heavens. There was a calmness in his eyes, a quiet strength she couldn't quite understand. It made her wonder why he came here every night, what he sought in the endless expanse above. Zyron, her robotic AI companion, hovered beside her, projecting data streams in mid-air. Subject's behavior does not match standard military conduct. Anomaly detected in relaxation patterns, Zyron stated in a monotone voice. Lyra smirked slightly, watching Alex as he traced constellations with his finger. Relaxation? So he's here just to feel peaceful? It sounded impossible. Advanced civilizations like hers saw peace as a luxury, reserved for only the highest-ranking officials after a life of achievement. Yet here was this human, who took time to simply sit under the stars. She leaned forward, adjusting her cloaking device to keep hidden, and activated her communicator. It's strange. Humans waste time in such unusual ways, she murmured into the device. But her interest didn't stop at mild curiosity. As days passed, Lyra found herself inexplicably drawn to Alex's ritual. She began taking notes on his habits and expressions. At first, it was simply data collection, but soon it became something more. She wasn't supposed to let her guard down, yet each night she felt herself more and more intrigued by Alex and his strange human rituals. Then one night, something unexpected happened. As Lyra adjusted her position, a faint rustling sound escaped her cloaking suit. She froze. A cold wave of panic washed over her as she glanced at Zyron, who was now emitting a warning alert. Her cover had been compromised. And as she looked up, she saw Alex's head turn slightly, his eyes narrowing as he peered into the darkness where she hid. "Is someone there?" he called out, his voice steady yet cautious. Lyra hesitated, her heart racing as she struggled to decide. No human had ever seen her kind. And if Alex discovered her, her entire mission, and possibly her life, could be at risk. Her fingers hovered over the control on her suit, ready to activate an emergency cloaking reboot. But for some reason she hesitated, something tugging at her. Was it curiosity or something else? Finally, she let out a low breath and flicked a switch, just enough for her form to flicker into view. Alex's eyes widened, and he took a step back, mouth agape as he took in the sight of her. Lyra's silver hair, her shimmering suit, and her striking eyes, all alien features she couldn't hide. Who are you?" Alex stammered, unable to look away. Lyra tried to find the words, her heart thudding as she realized the gravity of the moment. She was face to face with a human who might just change everything. "I'm someone from far away," she replied softly, a cryptic answer, yet the only one she could give. She noticed his reaction, a mix of fear and wonder, and in that instant she saw humans through a new lens, filled with curiosity, bravery, and mystery. The silence hung between them, a moment that neither could break, and as Alex stood there, frozen, Lyra realized this was only the beginning of a journey that would test both their worlds in ways they could never imagine. The encounter with Alex had left Lyra shaken, but intrigued. For the first time in her life, she'd spoken directly to a human, and the experience was unlike anything she'd prepared for. Though her training demanded she avoid such contact, she couldn't help but return to the hillside the next night. She arrived earlier than usual, making sure her cloaking suit was fully functional. But as she settled in, she spotted Alex already there, waiting as if he expected her. Alex's curiosity about Lyra had only grown since their brief meeting. He'd spent hours thinking about her, wondering if she was real or if it had all been some strange dream. When he saw her approaching, her shimmering suit blending into the shadows, he felt both fear and fascination. "Hey, you're back," Alex said with a mix of surprise and relief. Lyra hesitated, still uncertain about her next move, but something in his friendly expression made her feel less guarded. She took a step forward, revealing herself in the soft moonlight. "Yes, I am back," she replied, her voice calm but cautious. "But I still don't understand why you come here every night." Alex shrugged, looking up at the stars. "I come here to think. Life can get complicated, you know. This is my way of finding peace. Looking at the stars, I feel connected to something bigger." Lyra tilted her head, intrigued by his answer. On her planet, peace was a rare thing, reserved for only the highest-ranking officials who'd earned it. Here was a simple human who sought peace on his own, with no rewards or ranks involved. It was a new concept for her, and she wanted to know more. As they continued talking, Alex asked questions about Lyra's world, her people, and how she came to Earth. But she kept her answers vague, careful not to reveal too much. She was here to observe humans, not to share her secrets. Yet she couldn't help but feel a strange connection with Alex. He was different from what her training had taught her about humans. Violent, primitive, and selfish. Alex seemed kind, intelligent, and genuinely interested in learning about her. Suddenly, a faint hum filled the air, and Lyra's AI companion Zyron hovered into view. The small robotic device emitted a soft glow, projecting data screens into the air around them. Alex's eyes went wide as he stared at Zyron, fascinated by the alien technology. What is that?" he asked, pointing at Zyron. Lyra chuckled, watching his reaction. "This is Zyron, my robotic assistant. He helps me gather information, keep records, and stay connected with my people." Zyron, programmed to be wary of humans, scanned Alex with a curious eye. "Human identified," it intoned in a robotic voice. "Behavioral analysis required." Alex raised an eyebrow, a smirk forming on his face. "So this little guy's keeping tabs on me, huh? Should I be worried?" Lyra laughed softly, finding his reaction amusing. Zyron is harmless, though he does enjoy analyzing everything and everyone he encounters. Alex stepped closer, examining Zyron with wonder. "You know we have robots here too, but nothing like this. It's amazing." For Lyra, this moment felt surreal. She was standing on Earth, with a human admiring her technology, and for once, she wasn't just the observer, she was connecting. The whole idea felt forbidden, yet exhilarating. She could feel a slight spark of excitement, something she hadn't expected to experience with a human. Their conversation continued, each of them sharing bits and pieces of their lives. Alex spoke about his work, his dreams, and his love for the night sky. In turn, Lyra shared stories of her planet's breathtaking landscapes, the towering cities built among the clouds, and the advanced technology her people use daily. As they talked, Lyra noticed the way Alex listened, genuinely interested in her stories. His curiosity seemed to have no limits, and she couldn't help but feel a strange sense of comfort. She'd been trained to see humans as simple creatures, but Alex was proving otherwise. He was thoughtful, even respectful of her background and experiences. Then, out of nowhere, a voice echoed in Lyra's communicator. It was her commander, issuing a stern reminder of her mission. "Agent Lyra, remember why you are there. Do not lose focus on the mission objectives." Lyra's expression changed, her face growing serious. She had let her guard down, something she couldn't afford. She glanced at Alex, who looked back at her, sensing the shift in her mood. "Is everything okay?" he asked, concern filling his eyes. Lyra nodded, forcing a small smile. "Yes. It's just that I'm not supposed to be here like this talking to you. My mission is complicated." Alex nodded, respecting her secrecy. "I understand. You don't have to share anything you're uncomfortable with. But for what it's worth, I'm glad you're here. Lyra felt a strange warmth in her chest at his words, and for a moment she forgot about her mission, her duties, and the risks. She was simply a being, standing under the stars with someone who felt like a friend. But as much as she wanted to stay, she knew she couldn't let her emotions take control. "Goodbye, Alex," she said softly, disappearing into the shadows once more. As she left, Alex stood alone, gazing at the stars, wondering if he'd ever see her again. A dark tension filled the air as Lyra received an urgent message from her alien council. They had detected her growing attachment to Earth and, especially, her connection with Alex. The council issued a final warning. Either she returned home immediately, or they would take matters into their own hands. To enforce this threat, the council dispatched a squad of alien soldiers to Earth. Their mission? Capture Lyra and eliminate any humans who might know about her. Lyra's heart pounded as she realized the gravity of the situation. The council was powerful and ruthless, and their soldiers were equipped with advanced weapons Earth's technology could barely comprehend. But she couldn't bear the thought of abandoning Alex or the planet she'd grown so fond of. She hurried to find Alex, hoping to warn him before it was too late. Alex was at his usual spot, gazing at the stars when Lyra found him. But tonight she was anything but calm. "Alex, listen carefully," she said urgently. "My people, they're coming. They know I've been here with you, and they see you as a threat." Alex's face turned serious. "So they're coming to fight?" Lyra nodded. "Yes, and they won't hold back. They have weapons far more advanced than anything humans have seen. If they see you as a threat, they won't hesitate to eliminate you and anyone else who stands in their way." For a moment, fear flashed across Alex's face, but it quickly turned to determination. "Then we have to prepare. We may not have alien technology, but we won't just stand by and watch." Moved by his bravery, Lyra took a deep breath. "I'll help you, but it won't be easy. I'll share some of our technology with you, just enough to give you a fighting chance. But promise me you'll be careful." Alex agreed, and together they headed to a secluded spot where Lyra could safely share some of her people's secrets. She introduced Alex to a set of advanced cloaking suits, energy shields, and powerful handheld blasters. Technology so advanced it looked like magic to him. "This will make you invisible to their scanners, and the shields will protect you from most energy attacks," Lyra explained. Alex and a few of his friends practiced using the devices, quickly adapting to the alien technology under Lyra's guidance. Late that night, the first alien ships arrived. Silent and sleek, they hovered over the hillside, their lights piercing the darkness. Alex and his friends hid under their cloaking suits, watching as alien soldiers emerged from the ship. They wore armor that shimmered in strange colors, equipped with weapons that glowed with ominous energy. Alex's heart raced as he gripped the alien blaster Lyra had given him. This was no ordinary fight. It was a battle for survival, and he knew they were the underdogs. But he felt a fierce determination, not just for himself, but for his friends, his world, and maybe even for Lyra. The aliens spread out, scanning the area with devices that could detect the faintest energy signatures. But with Lyra's technology, Alex and his friends remained hidden. Then, with a quick nod, Alex signaled his team to launch a surprise attack. Blaster shots erupted in the dark, catching the aliens off guard. The aliens retaliated quickly, their weapons firing beams that could cut through stone. Alex dodged, using his energy shield to deflect the attacks. The air was filled with flashes of light, as blasters fired and shields clashed with alien beams. Despite their lack of training, Alex and his friends fought fiercely, their courage making up for their lack of experience. Lyra watched from the shadows, a mix of pride and worry in her heart. She wanted to join the fight, but revealing herself might draw more alien reinforcements. Instead, she carefully observed, ready to step in if Alex was in real danger. Just as Alex thought they might gain the upper hand, a towering alien commander stepped forward. His armor was larger, and his weapon hummed with a menacing energy. He raised his arm, targeting Alex with a powerful energy cannon. Lyra's heart sank. She knew that if the commander fired, Alex's shield wouldn't hold up. She couldn't wait any longer. Ignoring the risk, she deactivated her cloak and rushed into the open, her own weapon ready. "Stop!" she shouted, catching the commander's attention. "I'm the one you're looking for. Leave them alone. They're no threat to you." The commander paused, his cold eyes fixed on Lyra. "You betrayed us, Lyra. You've chosen these weak beings over your own people. Lyra held her ground, her voice steady. They're stronger than you think. They may not have our technology, but they have something we don't. A spirit. A courage that doesn't come from machines. Ignoring her words, the commander aimed his cannon at her, but before he could fire, Alex took a daring leap, using his shield to block the blast. The impact threw him back, but his bravery had given Lyra the chance she needed. With a swift move, she fired her weapon, disabling the commander's cannon. In the tense silence that followed, the remaining alien soldiers hesitated, unsure without their leader. Lyra seized the moment to call out, "Leave now! Earth may not be advanced, but it has protectors, and I'll be one of them." One by one, the alien soldiers retreated, carrying their fallen leader back to their ship. As the ship disappeared into the night sky, Lyra and Alex exchanged a look of relief, mixed with exhaustion. They had won the battle, but both knew the fight was far from over. After the intense battle, Alex and Lyra sat on the hillside, catching their breath. They had driven the aliens away for now, but both knew this was only the beginning. The alien council would not take their defeat lightly. Alex looked at Lyra, seeing a mix of strength and worry in her eyes. She was torn between her loyalty to her own people and her newfound bond with Earth, especially with him. Alex broke the silence. "Do you think they'll come back?" Lyra sighed, nodding slowly. "Yes. They're not used to losing, especially to humans. This fight wasn't just about capturing me, it was about proving their power. They'll want revenge." The thought of another battle weighed on Alex, but he was determined not to give up. "Then we'll be ready. We may not have alien technology, but we have courage and each other." His words seemed to ease Lyra's worry, and a faint smile appeared on her face. As they talked, Lyra shared more about her home planet, a beautiful, advanced world where every aspect of life was controlled and orderly. Emotions were seen as weaknesses, and attachments to other beings were discouraged. Her mission to Earth had always been to observe and gather information, not to make connections. But now she realized that Earth had shown her something her world lacked, a sense of freedom and connection that went beyond technology. Just as they were about to leave, a sudden glow filled the sky. Lyra's eyes widened as she recognized the energy signature. It was another alien ship, much larger than the first. The ship hovered above them, its dark, sleek body outlined against the starlit sky. A powerful voice boomed from the ship, echoing across the hillside. "Agent Lyra, you have betrayed your mission and your people. You are to be captured and brought back for punishment. Humans are advised to stand down and surrender." Alex clenched his fists, his heart racing. He glanced at Lyra, who looked back at him with a determined gaze. "We won't let them take you," he said firmly. The ship's doors opened, and a new squad of alien soldiers descended, each one heavily armed and ready for battle. This time, their armor was reinforced, and they carried advanced weaponry designed to counter Earth's defenses. The aliens spread out, moving with precision and discipline. It was clear they were not taking any chances. Lyra turned to Alex, her voice urgent. "They're stronger this time. We'll need a new strategy. Let's use the landscape to our advantage. Hide, distract, and fight only when necessary." Alex nodded, signaling to his friends who had arrived to help. They scattered, using the trees, rocks, and shadows to remain hidden. Lyra handed out the remaining energy shields and cloaking devices, preparing them for the intense fight ahead. As the alien soldiers moved closer, Alex and his team launched a surprise attack. Blaster shots lit up the night as energy beams cut through the air. The human fighters dodged, ducked, and used their shields to block the deadly attacks. The aliens were relentless, their movements swift and calculated. But Alex and his friends fought with everything they had, their courage and determination making up for their lack of advanced weapons. In the middle of the fight, Alex spotted the alien commander, who seemed to be directing the soldiers with hand signals. Realizing that cutting off the commander's communication could disrupt their strategy, he gestured to Lyra, pointing toward the leader. "Take him out and they'll lose coordination," Alex shouted. Lyra understood immediately. Using her cloaking device, she moved swiftly through the chaos, her footsteps light and silent. She reached the commander, who was focused on issuing orders. With one precise strike, she disabled his communication device, leaving the alien soldiers momentarily confused and without direction. The distraction worked. The aliens hesitated, giving Alex and his team a chance to push forward. They fought with renewed energy, taking advantage of the confusion among the alien ranks. Blaster shots fired from every direction as the humans closed in, forcing the aliens to retreat. But just as victory seemed within reach, the alien commander activated a last resort, a powerful device that emitted a high-frequency signal, disabling all Earth technology in the area. Alex's shields flickered and died, and Lyra's cloaking suit lost its power. The humans were now exposed and vulnerable. The aliens regrouped, closing in on Alex and Lyra. The commander aimed his weapon directly at Alex, a cold, determined look in his eyes. Lyra felt a surge of desperation. She couldn't let them hurt him, not after all they'd been through together. With a burst of courage, she stepped in front of Alex, her arms outstretched. "Stop!" "I surrender," she declared. The words felt heavy, but she knew it was the only way to save him. "Take me, but leave the humans alone." The commander paused, considering her offer. For a moment, it seemed like he would accept, but then a voice from the ship interrupted. "No, the humans have seen too much. They, too, must be eliminated." Alex's heart pounded as he realized the aliens had no intention of sparing them. In that moment, he knew they had to make one last stand. Looking at Lyra, he whispered, "We're not going down without a fight." Lyra nodded, her eyes fierce. With a surge of determination, they rallied Alex's team for one final attack. Despite their limited resources, they fought with a passion that the aliens hadn't anticipated. They were outnumbered, but their spirit remained unbroken. As the battle raged on, Lyra felt a spark of hope. She had come to Earth as an observer, but she was leaving this battlefield as a protector. Together, they would show the aliens that Earth was not a planet to be conquered easily. Just as dawn began to break, the alien forces, overwhelmed by the humans' resilience, retreated, their ship rising into the sky. The hillside grew quiet again, and as Lyra and Alex looked around, they saw the signs of their hard-won victory. For now they were safe, but Lyra knew the fight was far from over.